Okay. Shalom everybody. We are gonna tonight is Yud Daled of the Aimer, which is 2 weeks of the Aimer. We're gonna start from Yud Daled and Aleph on the bottom, the second parak. Zot the Mishnah. Maybe it's a mincha b'seich kifa mitzvah. She puts her mincha in a basket, a mitzvah, basket it's called a mitzvah basket. I forgot what it's made out of. Um, it's a nitzvah decal. It's from a palm tree. She puts it on her hand, and they make her hold it to tire her out and to stress her out. And they want her to be chayzer. We're going to see in the Gemara. Standard minchas, all other minchas klasim besides the klisharis. The beginning and the end of the process is in a klisharis. Zu, and this woman tchilas the kafifa mitzvah is a klisharis. It has to end up in a klisharis, but it starts off in a this low class keli as also as a pagam. Call a minchas tu'una shaman v'levina. All minchas have shaman and levina oil and frankincense spices. It has neither. Call a minchas ba'os minachitim. All minchas come from flour, from wheat flour. The zubo min hasayir. This comes from barley. And the Mishnah right away bavarid's minchas ha'aymer. The minchas ha'aymer after bishop ba min hasayir, even though it does also comes from a sayirin, but he isa. It comes from more refined flour from barley. Vizuba kemach, a more coarse flour. Gamir explains the reason for that is because Shem Shemaisa, Maisa Behema, the way she acted was like a behema without regard for the sanctity of her marriage. Kach, carbon, Michael Behema. So too she brings a carbon that is animal food. Why? What's the whole point of all this whole procedure? To tie her out. Why? So she should admit that she was takatami and she shouldn't drink and shouldn't blow up. In fact, and the Gemara says that in kacha chasa taira al if Hashem is worried and tries to protect those who sin against him. Imagine how worried he is and how much he cares for those who do his will. In other words, we don't want her to have instant punishment. The mile of delayed punishment is that she has time to do tshuva. If she drinks the meisaita and she doesn't admit that she's tame and she really was tame and she drinks the meisaita, she blows up. If she doesn't have time, she doesn't do tshuva, she dies instantly. Look at the Gemara, Tanya, Amar, I'm sorry, we just did fine. Dilma, Megillah, who says it's because, I'm sorry. The last line, so how do we know we're trying to protect her? Maybe we don't want Hashem's name to be erased. How do you know it's something that we're trying to protect her from? Maybe we're trying to protect Kilu, the name of Hashem. And the Gemara, Kasava, Mashka, Achakach, Makar, there's a machlekes later on in the Masechta, which one you do first? The whether does she drink first or does she do the mincha first? So according to if this man holds that you first drink, then and if she's chayzer before the mincha, then it won't be baydek and she'll go home and she'll again if she admitted and she was tummy then she has to do tshuva, but at least she doesn't get blown up. The imashum Megillah, if you can't tell me it's from the Megillah because it was already dissolved. There was already erased Hashem's name. Kol minchas, right? So our Mishnah said what? Kol minchas. It starts off in a klisharis, ends off in a klisharis. In fact, the Gemara say the menachas ketzad. The Gemara's going to bring a brayso that goes through the entire process of standard menachas, nothing to do with psych specifics. Adam maybe mincha b'seich mitayich beisai the kolsai shal kesef shal zav. He brings it in bowls or baskets of silver and gold. The nice is like klisharis, and then when he gets to the Beis Hamikdash, he puts it in klisharis umakacha, and he's makadosh it for his mincha for what he needs it for. Makacha klisharis. The nice in the shmeino levain, he puts on it oil and levain, like we said. Malicha etzagan, he gives it brings to the kain. Kain malicha etzam mizbeach, and the kain brings it to the mizbeach. Magisha b'karen deraimis ma'aravis keneged chuda shel karen v'dayek. He makes one. He does one touching to the southwestern corner of the mizbeach, and that's enough. Just a tip. And he moves the levina to one side of away to the side of the mincha. And he he does the kamitza, which is taking the flour with these three fingers. He takes a scoop, not from the levena side, from the oily side. The nice little is like klisharis and mekachav klisharis. Then he takes that kamitza and he puts it into another klisharis, markas levina, and then he puts levina on top of that. The reason why, if it has levina, why can't I have levina in the chametz? Because he needs a full. This is a full share. You need a full share kamitza. If you have levina, and the Gemara is going to explain later that it's possible. Nice al gaba. And he puts it and he's makter it on mizbech with the klisharis, not in the klisharis mamish, but from the klisharis in after the zech. And he salts it and then he puts it on top of the fire. Once the karetz is makar, once he finishes the kaimetz procedure, the rest of it that was left in the bowl is they could eat it. They could add in like some additives. The only thing they can't put in is they can't make a chametz. So I guess no water and yeah, fine. But Katani Mia, the Maisa we saw, we saw that they put it in golden vessels and not klisharis. So you're saying that it starts off in klisharis. Well, that's not true. It's only from Kalim that are right for klishars. And this woman comes in with a shmata basket that's not right for klishars. Well, the chifas mitzvahs lav chazia, so it's masher that what? According to what Papa just explained in the Mishnah and the Raisa, that this krifa mitzvahs is not eligible and not right to be a klisharis. Come on, who's that like? Like Rabbi Yossi, Rabbi Yehuda, the Tanya klisharis shasan ashal eight. Rabbi Paisa, Rabbi Yossi, Rabbi Yehuda, makshir. Rabbi says you cannot make a klisharis out of wood, and Rabbi Yossi, Rabbi Yehuda says you could. So right now in the question, we're assuming that just like he lets you use it from a regular wood, you also let it use from decal, from a palm tree. And the Gemara, no, I feel the same Rabbi Yossi, Rabbi Yehuda, aim the Rabbi Yossi, Rabbi Yehuda, b'chashuvim. Use good wood, oak wood, chashuva wood. But posted me, would he say it also in this decal branches, like the shracha, like garbage bolt? Let's like the Rabbi Yossi, Rabbi Yehuda, hakrivu la. It's a mash. You should bring only. You should bring something that's more right for. Page of lefachasecha means. Oh, it's the pasuk shows you have to do something that's more chashiv. So even Rabbi Yossi would agree has this pasuk and has to use it and has to abide by it. So he holds that this wood keli qualifies, but shmata dekel keli doesn't. And nice the klisharis makachiv klisharis. He puts it into the klisharis and he's makachiv klisharis. Shmamina klisharis in makachiv elamidas. So you see, because the Brisa breaks it down as a two-step process. Put it in the klisharis and then be makachiv klisharis. It doesn't happen in mail. You need das to be makdish. And they want to know, Ema nice of the klisharis, likacha b'klisharis. You put it into klisharis that it should be mekudesh, but not that it needs another step of kedushas klisharis. The nice and alash ashmei levina or levina. So shenem v'yatzak alash shemen v'nasan aleh levina. So you see that you have to put on the shemen and the levina on the kaimetz. No. This is not going in the kaimetz. This is Tam all Kavanas. This is all menachas. You have to put Shemin Levina. Umalichan Eitzel Kain. The Chsive V'yasa Al Bnei Haran. You have to bring it to the Bnei Haran. The Kain Malichan Eitzel Mizbeach. The Chsive Gisha Al Tel Mizbeach. You bring it to the Mizbeach. Gisha B'Karen Deremis V'Aramis Connected Chuda Shel Karen V'Dayim. No. How do you know that you should put it on the southwest corner? The Chsive Zois Taris HaMincha Hakiv Oisa Bnei Haran L'Fnei Hashem Al Pnei HaMizbeach. You should put it in front of Mizbeach, and the Pnei Mizbeach means the front of Mizbeach, which is the Daram, which is the southern side of Mizbeach. Britannia, the Pnei Hashem, that it should be in front of Hashem, which is the western side of Mizbeach, because the Heichel is towards the west of the Mizbeach. So Yachol b'Marava, I would think that you do completely in the west. Al Pnei Mizbeach. It should be in the front of the Mizbeach, which is the southern side. El Pnei Mizbeach. If it says Yachol b'Darim, so it would be completely on the southern side of Mizbeach. So now you have two opposite, not opposite, but two contradictory psukim. One says that you do it on this. One limud we have that Shafei Hashem, who's the Heichel is on the left, the Kodesh Kodashim is on the west is on the west, towards the west of the Mizbeach, and then you have another thing that says the Lefnei Hashem, which is that's the Lefnei Hashem, and the Pnei Mizbeach tells you that it should be the southern side that's the front of the Mizbeach. So how do you make both these concepts? You put it on the corner, the southwestern corner. You have both psukim. Maybe now the question is on which side of the Karen do you put it on? So it's very nice. You put it on, you touch it to the southwest corner, but you do it on the south side of the southwest corner or the west side of the southwest corner. So again, I would think he could do whatever he wants. Amarta, one, it's possible to listen to that pasuk and also be mekayim its friend. One, if you listen to that pasuk, you mevatel the other friend. You mevatel the pasuk. So you have two psukim. One allows you to be mekayim another pasuk as well, and the other one is exclusive to that pasuk. So one's it's not mutually exclusive. I don't know how to say it. One's exclusive, the other one's not. Okay? You let go of the pasuk that's Mekayim itself, and it's the Tyson as Shemekayim Atzum Mekayim Chaver, and you take the one that's both Mekayim, that you could be Mekayim itself and Mekayim its friend. If you say Lefnei Hashem b'Ma'arava and you go exclusively b'Ma'arava, in other words, you do the western side of the southwest corner. You are being mavatal the Panei Mizbeach. B'darim, which is B'darim, which is southern. But if you go Panei Mizbeach, which is Darim, southern, B'darim kiyam to the Panei Hashem b'Ma'arava. You could also still accomplish the Panei Hashem, and we're going to see why in a second. Okay, it's and you put it on the southern side of the southwest corner. Okay, how does that make sense? How are you mekayim it? Now, if you look at article has a good. I'm not going to do this here because it's going to be backwards. I'm not going to do it. But if you look at article, it's very the picture. If you have everything on a line, so you have the Heichel here, the Mizbeach here. Then if I'm doing on the southern side of the Mizbeach, right, I'm completely not in line with the Heichel anymore. Okay, here's the Heichel. Okay, it's not a line because it's not a line. It's a box. The Heichel is a box, and my watch is the Mizbeach, right? So let's just go southern just simple. It should work. Let's see if we can do this. Okay, so if I do the southern side of the Mizbeach, and this is all straight, that means it's not in front of the Mizbeach anymore. It's on the bottom of the It's on the bottom of the Heichel. This is the Heichel. This is the Mizbeach. So if I do it over here, it's over here. But if the Mizbeach is halfway up my wrist, so then if I do it on the southern side of the Mizbeach, I'm mekayim the pasuk of Panei Mizbeach, and it's also right in front of the Heichel. It's still facing the Heichel. It's right in front of the Heichel. It's not on the side of the Heichel, but it's towards the Heichel and also still facing it. So that's how Rashi explains. Amar Rashi, I think it's a Rashi. The Mizbech was all the way north. So if you're going to bump, if you're going to be masik, if you're going to touch the keli to the bottom, to the southern side of the Mizbeach, I'm still being Makayim, it's still right in front of the Heichel. Because the Mizbeach is north, which means the bottom, which is the southern part of the Mizbeach, is still in line with the Heichel. Right? And I'm doing it on the Darim side, on the western side, which is towards the Heichel, and it's still looking at the Heichel. Whereas if I would do it on the western side, I would not be in front of the Heichel at all. I would just be towards the front as opposed to the back, but I wouldn't be Mekayim both psukim. That's how we understand it. Yeah, I'm not good with east and west, but so I had to. This is like a headache. But Baruch Hashem, we're on the other side. I do not plan on giving a share on Kachem. Just I can't process the south and west. It just doesn't work. My B'dai, what does that mean? So what does Dai mean? It's enough to do with the Keli. I would think that you have to do with the actual sightless. The flower itself has to be plopped onto the Karen. They could just touch it with the keli, with the klisharis, and it's fine. Who said? Maybe you have to do it. It says you bring it to the kain, and then it says the kain brings it to the mizbeach. So just like you give it to the kain, the Gemara is going to explain. You don't give it to the kohen in a bag of a pound of a bunch of flour in his hand. You give it to him in a bowl. So too, when he puts it in his bag, it's also in a bowl. It's on his bag, bekli. The reason why you move it over is, like we said before, it shouldn't be part of the mincha. If you did the kamitza, a pebble, a gar gamelach, or a grain of salt, like kairet levina kairet levina or some levina apostle. This kamitza is apostle, and you have to do it again. The kind of makom shenis rabba shamna minan dechsev misalta umishamna migirsa umishamna, because it says both things. It says it by oil by both. That's how you know you need to also chop a bunch of oil in there. But nice, let's say klisharis and kachi klisharis. Normally, why do you need it to go into the second klisharis? But all the flour, the whole mincha went into klisharis like a. Now you have to do the kamitza and put it into another klisharis. I was asking why. It's already kaddish. The whole thing was kaddish. Why does the kamitza need a separate level of kedusha? Just like by dam. Now, we're not learning Zachem, but we're doing Daf Yomi. So just the one reference that I remember is that the four avodas by a carbon by a behema is shchita, kabbalah, zrika, halacha, and zrika, and each one has a correspondence with minchas. Right, so we have the shchita is the shechting, kabbalah is accepting the dam, walking halacha is walking it over to the pareches, and zrika is spraying onto pareches. Fine. So we have similar ideas by the kamitza. So the kamitza is the shechting, and that's all I remember. But the kamitza is like the shechting part, and then putting it into the keli is like the kabbalah, I think. So the same way we're saying that just by dam, the shechting is not enough. We also need kabbalah. We're saying that over here. Midi have adam. Dam afagad makachi sakin b'tzavar behema. The knife that you shech the animal with is already kaddish the blood because it's a klisharis. It's not stam a knife, right? They actually anoint it. And then it has to go, but they have to do the Kabbalah also in the Klisharis. You can't just chop it up in a plastic water bottle. Over here also I need the same concept. The Levine has to go onto the mincha, so it has to be burnt together. Okay. Let's just get to the top of the page. And you makter in klisharis. Expecting more of a klisharis makter. You put it into the klisharis onto the fire. Ella ema malayu b'klisharis lehaktirasa. You bring it from the klisharis. You don't actually put the klisharis on the mizbech to burn. You take it and you put it from the klisharis into the fire. Fine. I think let's stop over here. We'll pick it up tomorrow. We are officially still, I think, one block behind because today is Yudalad in the Eimer, and we should be doing Daf Tazvav. But we have about a month to catch up, so I'm not stressed. Have a wonderful night. Thank you for joining.
Thank you, Mo.